Hello children, we are continuing the chapter Major Landforms. Take the page number 27. Now the topic is plains. Did you read the chapter till plain? 2 pages I said 25 and 26. Okay. So last class we studied about different major landforms, mountains and plateaus we completed. Today we are going to study about plains. What do you mean by plain? It is, the name carries its meaning, plains. Okay. So what is the meaning? It is a flat surface. It is a flat land and low-lying land surface. It is a flat land and low-lying land surface, and it's called, also have another name, that is known as lowland, because plain area, plain. We already know that what is the meaning plain. So that is the meaning. Another name of the plains is lowlands. Sometimes the plains can be level, sometimes it is unlevel, that is uneven portions. Now the slope is gentle. Plain meaning the slope may be, it's not the steep slopes, it's a gentle slope. So that type of major landforms are known as plains. So what is plains? Plains are the flat land with low-lying land surface, and it's have another name, that is lowland. Then it can be level and also very uneven stuff, that is slope is very gentle slope. Okay, so this is plains. This is known as the plain area. Now how these plains are formed? How the plains are formed? Okay, we know that the plains are formed by the deposition of the sand and silt by the rivers. Okay, the plains are formed because of the rivers. Rivers are the major reason behind this plain. Now how it formed? For example, if this is the mountain area, the rivers are originating from here. When it comes down from the river, it carry, what it is carrying? Sand, sometimes rock pieces, some materials, then sometimes dust. It all carries. When it carry and it flowing down. So when the slope is getting flat, what they will deposit all these things in a particular area. Wherever the river feels, that is the low-lying area, that is speed of the river is getting low. At the time, this sand and silt, it is taken from this mountain area, it will deposit here. Clear? So this causes the plains. Understood? In this way the plains are formed. Okay, in particularly in our North India, plains are formed because of the rivers, because the rivers are carrying the sand and silt, that is this all together, these things all together known as silt. Silt and sand. These silt and sand together forms plains. When it came from the mountain area, it carries sand and silt. And this sand and silt, when the river speed is low, when it reaches to any low-lying area, the water level, the speed of the water is getting low. At the time, it deposit. These rivers are deposit sand and silt in a particular area. So this area, like a raised area. So this area is not. Then after, it will filled with the sand and silt. So it forms the plains. In this way, the plains are formed. Clear, children? The plains are formed because of mainly by the rivers. The rivers are carrying the sand and silt. This is the important word, sand and silt by the rivers. When the speed of the river is getting low, rivers are depositing, and at the time the plains are formed. So this is, in this way the plains are formed. Clear, children? Now next is, what is the importance of the plain? The plains are because the rivers are carrying the plains, the sand and silt, and because of the rivers it's formed. These sand and silt is we already studied last year, plains. So the carry sand and silt. That sand and silt is a fertile thing. So the plain soil is very fertile, and almost all the big cities and towns are located in the plains. Then it is easier to construct road, railways, airport, and also canals. So mostly people also will live here. Okay, so it is very fertile soil. So fertile soil meaning it is growing for, it is good for growing crops. So agriculture is possible here. Agriculture meaning farming is possible here. Then big cities and towns are located in the plains. Then it is easier to construct road, railway, airport and canals. So because of all these reasons, most of the peoples will live here. So these plain areas are thickly populated areas. Okay, the plain areas are thickly populated areas. Understood, children? The plain areas are thickly populated, but we studied mountains are thinly populated because less soil, cultivation is very slow, and harsh climate is also not suitable for, and it is not easy for constructing roads. But in plain area, fertile soil, big cities and towns are there. We are constructing road, railway and everything. So growing crops, farming is possible. So mostly people will also live here. So this is the importance of the plain. Clear, children? And we have an important plain in North India, that is Gangetic plain. Now we are moving on to the next topic, that is desert. Another important major landform is desert. This is another important one is desert. We know that. What do you mean by desert? When we hear the name, what is in your mind? It's very hot, full of sand. The same here, it receives very little rainfall and very dry climate. Very little rainfall, dry climate. But days are very hot, but what is the difference? The nights are very cold. Days are very hot, but nights are very cold. And dust storms. Storms as always occurs, but it carries dust. And sand dunes. Sand dunes, we know that a small hill of sand. A small hill of sands are known as sand dunes. So these sand dunes are common in desert, and little vegetation. Very less vegetation. We can only some, which type of cactus? Okay, this very less vegetation and cactus and some kind of this else bubble, they only can grow in this area. Clear? So these are the features of the desert. Deserts, it receives very little rainfall, dry climate is there, then very hot day, but nights are very cold nights, and dust storms are possible, and sand dunes. Sand dunes meaning very small, a small hill of sand that is always occur there, and little vegetation, that is cactus, bubbles are only growing here. These sand dunes, if to morning, if we are seeing in a particular area, when we reach the same place at the different time, another sand dune you can occur. Maybe the places, shifting of sand dunes is because of the dust is there. Because of dust storm, these sand dunes are always happening. So these are the features of desert. Now next important deserts are in Africa. This is the Sahara Desert. It's very important one, Sahara Desert. And another one is Kalahari Desert. Sahara Desert and Kalahari Desert are the two important deserts in Africa. Okay. Then this Sahara Desert is the largest desert in the world. This is the largest desert in the world, and here is Kalahari. This is Sahara and this is Kalahari. These were the two important deserts in Africa. Names should be studied, very important. Now in Asia we have Thar Desert and in Arabian Desert. Thar Desert and Arabian Desert in Asia. These are another two names. Then next one is in Australia, Grand Sandy Desert. Grand Sandy and Great Victoria Desert in Australia. That's important. And in South America, Patagonian Desert. South America, Patagonian Desert, and one more desert that is almost here, Atacama Desert. Atacama Desert. So these are the important two deserts in different continents you have to study. South America, Patagonian, Atacama, and Australia, Great Sandy and Great Victoria. Then in Asia, Thar Desert in India, then Arabian Desert. Then in Africa, Sahara Desert and Kalahari Desert. Okay children. Then next important one is, so these are the two important divisions of landforms, plains and desert. Okay. Now take your textbook, take the page number 27. Underline the first two lines. A plain is a flat and low-lying land. They are also called lowlands. The first two sentences underline. Then also mark the paragraph, the second paragraph, page number 27. Page number 27, second paragraph, mark and write the question, how the plains are formed. How the plains are formed. How the plains are formed. That is the question. The second paragraph under the heading plains. Full paragraph is the answer. So write their question and mark from here to here. The next one is importance. Put the tick mark on that 3 orange dots is given, that is importance. Then do the checkpoint. Do by yourself. First question is given. This has steep slope and a conical peak. Write the which landform. Next second one. This has steep side and a flat top. So what is the answer? Write there. Third one, this flat and fertile land is thickly populated. So which area is having thickly population? Write there. Now turn the page, take the desert. First line underline little rainfall. Underline little rainfall. Then all that dots are there. Put tick mark, very important one. Then next paragraph, fourth line, Sahara Desert. All the names of the desert study important. Sahara, that's very important. Largest delta in the world. Sahara, Kalahari, Great Sandy, Great Victoria, Thar Desert, Arabian Desert, Atacama Desert, Patagonian Desert. Okay. Then write their nearby Asian Desert. Write their question. Name 2 deserts in Asia. Like this, other continents name also may ask. So name 2 desert in Asia. Another question will come. Name 2 desert in Africa. So all the desert names should study and study with the spelling. Then read the chapter. Okay children, thank you.